Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this webinar. Before we get started, I just want to kind of give a little bit of brief on what this is about and what you're going to learn in here. Essentially, the Academy aims to teach people through our courses that we've put together to be able to learn high level in a structured format. There's an interactive part to that in the Academy. So our goal is to be able to teach as many people as possible how to use high level and how to actually feel confident while you're attempting to sell to your prospects. One of the biggest things we found out, and Melissa's a testimony herself about this, is if you don't know the product that you are selling it becomes extremely harder. And when you get questioned by your prospects, answering those questions confidently becomes even harder to do so. So the goal here is that we want to teach everyone high level, because I personally believe, and my entire team believes this as well, that high level is actually an amazing platform. It's a great opportunity for entrepreneurs wanting to build a scalable business.
I know Josh's 6.285 too can definitely back that up.
However, if you don't give yourself a fair learning shot at this opportunity, it could be a huge disaster for you as well. You could spend a bunch of money on unknowing things and not ever make anything out of it, and or lose customers that you may have brought on, lose your reputation over it because you weren't able to deliver, things of that nature. And we've seen people come in and go, as well as people that have come in and have actually taken it seriously succeed with it also. So through this program, we hope to be able to educate you guys on high level and be able to educate your staff on high level as well, and provide this as a really solid training platform on the back end. So you can get going and sell high level confidently with this course. With that, let me introduce you to Stephanie Blair, who is our CEO of the Academy for High Level by Extendly. Her and Melissa Blair worked together to actually build this course initially before we acquired it under Extendly. And since then, we've made several improvements, including launching a whole new level 1 course that you can actually get started to familiarize yourself with high level in as little as day 1. And Stephanie recently won a first place course winner with this exact same course with high level. So Stephanie, I'll let you take it from here.
Thanks. So like Biant just said, we did just win the first place spot in High Level's course contest. So in February, with their affiliates and just talking about how courses can help add to your stack or whatever you're doing with your clients, they were in search of different courses that people had about high level. So of course, I felt like we had to enter. And out of 17 courses and 578 lessons later, we did take first place. And it was really cool because it was like Sean, Kelsey, and all of those big people that were looking right at what we were doing and can safely say that it was a course that you created was amazing. Truly enjoyed the user experiences, the courses, and the quizzes. The value provided was immense, and I'm grateful for your contribution to our community, which is really, really an honor. And because of that, and because you guys are all Extendly members and we're very grateful for you, we also wanted to offer the first 25 Extendly members to use the code EXT50 for 50% off of any level. So if you go to theghlacademy.com or www.theghlacademy.com, either one, you can use that code at checkout for any level. So if you're watching this, make sure that you are one of those first 25 and don't miss out. Also, like Biant was mentioning, the lacking confidence piece of learning the system and being able to sell it well has been the biggest crack in the system we've seen. And so overall, we've seen a lot of just like learning HighLevel should not be difficult. It should be able to be a support mechanism in your business, not something that you're spending hours and hours and hours and hundreds to thousands of dollars even on and not doing anything with. You're not sure where or how to get started, thinking about those wasted costs, time, or even canceling your subscription because you may not be using it or don't know how to use it. You don't have enough time or money to find and train new employees, or you're trying to train yourself or a employee, and you're just doom scrolling through random outdated YouTube videos and resource libraries. So all in all with that, there's a lot of just wasted time, efforts, costs, and frustration that really isn't needed.
And you're going to see how Steph and I interact with each other. Mother interrupts daughter often. You're going to find Stephanie is very logical, and I'm a much more creative person. When we started our company, our white label agency, I want to give you some background on why we're different. So many large marketing agencies have picked up on HighLevel. Many gurus have picked up on HighLevel. We aren't either one of those. We are just a small family company that started with no clients whatsoever. We started right at pretty much the beginning with HighLevel. They only had the CRM and the scheduler. So we have fought every step of the way to learn the program as that's been growing. And one of the things that happened to us is that it's hard. It's a lot. It's hard. And so what I want to ask you is, what's your time worth? How many, put in the chat, how much you charge per hour? Let's see if we can get some responses in. How much you guys charge per hour?
Going
$100 an hour, yeah. $250 to $350. Does it make sense to be paying $200, even $100 an hour to be going through old YouTube videos that are no longer current? That's the big thing that we wanted to solve with this, is to have one place to go where it's always updated and it's very logical. I'll shut up now. Let her go.
That's okay. You said it perfectly.
That's absolutely right. So the whole structure of this course is to be in a more structured format, right? So that you can actually learn step by step how to use HighLevel, familiarize yourself with HighLevel, and be able to train your team, new hires that you may bring on. Matter of fact, our Extendly's entire tech support team is going through the entire course as we speak, so we can have everyone feel fully confident, including all the brand new hires. All the brand new hires, by default, go through this the entire program. And we actually had our team in our Slack channel posting their certifications as they went through the levels, and celebrating that they were able to complete certification levels throughout the program.
Right. So as mentioned, with HighLevel, it's a great option, the SaaS model, whether you're using that to sell the software, whether you're using it like how Rob Bailey has with the database reactivation things and things like that. But the downfalls have been that, there's the profit-driven motives. It seems super easy, but you actually need a lot more time to understand the capabilities and the limitations. And you may have been convinced by others that it's this super easy thing, and it can be with the right tools to support you through it. It's not going to let me click. The competitive pressure. So the agency may feel pressure to keep up with competitors also offering automation software solutions and pricing. So we've all felt, if you are doing the SaaS model, somebody comes and it's $20 a month, and it's like, oh, okay, now what? Right? The incomplete due diligence, so making sure that you're doing the full research about what the system does, how it works. And we find that a lot of people are just jumping into it, and that's great. We love the eagerness. We just want to be able to support that and make you stronger while doing that. And the technical expertise or go-to person to understand the software thoroughly, yet still choose to sell it, relying on the software provider's support to address any issues that arise. So if you've gone to different support channels, you've probably felt a little frustration on the time response or if it was effective, if the response was even helpful. And when you're running an agency or however you're using HighLevel, those clients and those questions, this is exactly why Melissa and I really saw the need for this program to begin with, because we were drowning in support questions from our own clients at the White Label agency that we weren't actually coaching them on how to sell or do what we actually started our agency for. And so that's what happens to a lot of agencies. You're not talking about your roofing or your fitness centers or your coaching programs because you're drowning in all of these support tickets and trying to communicate between this support channel and the client and that support channel. And yeah, we've all felt that, I can safely say. So
that's why we also went with Extendly.
Totally. And I gotta say, the support people are doing great as they've been going through. I personally grade the exams, which we'll get to later. And I am really, really satisfied with their responses so far. So it's really great to see that we're all on the same page, talking the same language about this. But the solution to that problem, like I mentioned, we couldn't really find one. There wasn't something out there. There was a bunch of random YouTube videos. They were outdated, out of order. This person's resource library that you're paying a bunch of money for and you don't know what's actually in it, or it's never updated again. So there wasn't really a solution in the midst, right? So we created the Academy for HighLevel, or what was our certification program, right? And it became very clear to us that it was not only a need for our clients, but need for all high levelers and people using HighLevel, VAs, employees, so on and so forth. So again, as Beyonce mentioned, we've seen time and time again that agency owners who genuinely excel are the ones that understand HighLevel inside and out. Once you know the platform, you can easily plug it into your problems your customers are facing and offer it as a solution. So that's where we developed the 3 different levels with over 100 lessons and resources covering nearly every inch of the program. You can master level 1 in as little as a few hours to a day through the consistently updated lessons. You can build the user's confidence in the system without negative consequences, meaning that you actually have the ability to experiment and build and break and apply logic without messing up your own business or somebody else's business by trying to just learn, right? We guarantee that you can save up to 6 months of wasted subscription costs, overwhelm, and frustration because we're helping you in a very organized manner. Make sure you know what you're doing. So simple as that, just making sure that you know what you're doing and you feel confident in what you're doing. So you can see on the right there, there's just like a little example of what one of the little lesson previews look like. We also are just here to help reduce frustration, generate more revenue for you, and launch your project. Again, the more you know about the system, the faster you can set these things up, the more you can trust what you're building, and you're not just waiting for that shoe to drop that something didn't work. We have multimedia resources that are perfect for visual, auditory, read, write, or hands-on learners. So we have not only videos, but we have worksheets and workbooks. We have live sessions. We have that sandbox account, which I'll mention later more, that you can go in and build and play with and break. We have the assessments and the tests in order for you to be able to actually assess your knowledge, see how you're progressing, and see how you're building your skills. We also have the daily live sessions to talk and ask questions on the Facebook group. If you're already in Extendly, you may be a little familiar with these, and we're just going to keep amping them up with the addition of the Academy. And that's just for you to come and ask questions about the system. If you don't have questions, talk through an example. It's really those daily kind of open office hours to our team. And then as mentioned, each lesson has some assignments. So you're actually going in and making some custom values or custom fields. You're being directed in how to learn and what to click in order for it to make sense in a cohesive manner. And at the end, of course, we have our directory where people that are certified can choose to add themselves to our directory and offer services. So it's a great way for you to be certified and get clients if that's what you want to do. Or if you want to find somebody or hire somebody that's already been certified, it's a great resource to find those individuals as well.
Just to interrupt again too. How many of us have been on the Facebook group and we say, hey, does anybody know how to ... And you start getting 300 or more DMs. I know how to do that. I know how to do that.
Right.
Well, I've hired all of them and they don't know how to do it. And now, again, I don't remember you saying this in the beginning, Steph, but one of the reasons we built this is because we expect our white label clients to hire help. They shouldn't be doing it. They should be hiring help. And so we got tired of bad VAs that were ruining it for both the client and us. So now we only have our clients work with certified VAs that know the software. They shouldn't be paying somebody to be Googling.
Exactly. Same reason, like Beyonce mentioned, why we're putting all of the Extendly support staff through it. So we're all talking the same talk, we're speaking the same language, we're on the same page, we're understanding the same things, right? Because there's so many different ways to build things in HighLevel that there's not only just one right way, there's definitely wrong ways, I can tell you that for sure, but there's not always just one specific right way. And so we're always adapting to that. And I even learn from people a lot about how they're thought of something that differently than I would have. And I'm like, oh yeah, that would work. That's great. It's an ever-changing, updating, consistent process that you can use to actually lean on in terms of the system, because we're always on top of it, at least as much as possible, right? Because Sean's always coming at us, isn't he? And then again, with those resources, as mentioned, we have cheat sheets, which are like short graphics to help wrap your head around the general principles of a feature like memberships or appointments, guides, which are detailed explanations, definitions, examples, and worksheets when understanding more significant concepts like workflows, project planning, domains, and more, like workflow triggers, actions, if-else steps, custom fields, etc. Build guides, which are step-by-step explanations of how to build a specific project type, like appointment bookings, there's a typo, booing,
I was going to say, I saw a typo.
Events, and more. And then things like troubleshooting tips, project planning, brainstorming worksheets, things like that. So again, it's not just a giant library of random videos. They're in a structured format. They have worksheets and resources to go right along with it. So over on the right here, you can see an example of our workflow guide and some actions, and where we actually list out every single workflow action, a description, tips about it, and at least one example of how you can use it to get your mind rolling. We have this for all the triggers, the if-else steps, the wait steps, the brainstorming thing, the custom fields, values, all of that. You can see here that this is one of those brainstorming sheets about planning. What data are you going to have to collect? Do you need a form, a calendar, a pipeline, tags, smart list? What are you going to need when you're starting to think about this process, specifically using HighLevel? Automation, so that brainstorming your workflow. How do you even know you need to build one? Make sure you're creating your connected pieces. What triggers and filters do you need? Actions. What do you need an event start date or remove them from another workflow? Those specialty kind of actions there. Wait steps, operation steps, and I try my absolute hardest to always include as many examples, like you can see right there, as well as working through. There's those troubleshooting tips I was mentioning. So just those very common issues like clearing your cache, is allow multiple on, do you need to refresh your browser? Those things that we run into a little bit. Those build guides, this is an example of one of those where you're actually step by step walking through what you need to do in order to build this product purchase, this lead magnet, this appointment process with pictures and arrows, the whole shebang. And then things like this, where we have every settings tab and the descriptions about it, every feature and the description about it. These quick and easy resources where if you're somebody that learns by just reading and is more of that kind of text person, then that's great. There's a resource for you. If you watch the video, that's how you learn, and you want to just quickly remind yourself of something, that's where these worksheets are also very helpful. All right. Level 1, the meat of it, right? So in level 1, this is the one that we specifically made that you can finish in at least a day. So the longest lesson I think is like 10 minutes, 10, 11 minutes. And so they all are really, really short, sweet, straight to the point. And we talk about the dashboard, custom fields and values, calendars and scheduling, payments and invoices, pipelines, account settings, contacts, forms and surveys, email builder, funnel and website builder, workflows and automations. And the point of this level is to just get a almost like lightning fast overview of HighLevel to actually get started doing something. This is great for beginners that just signed up and don't know how to even log in or add their settings or want to learn more about it. This is perfect for people that are the agency level. They need to know what the system does, but they're not the one going in and setting every toggle and naming every tag, right? That's where that VA person or that automation expert would come in later to come and help with that. They're the ones that need that expert level knowledge, not necessarily the agency owner in that particular sense. It covers, like I said, settings, websites, workflows, and more. You get access to that daily live tech and sales training on the Facebook group, those guides and cheat sheets. You also get, thankfully, Extendly's Quick Start Snapshot, as well as an Academy snapshot with a few interactive template guides. And with that Quick Start Snapshot, you also get access to Extendly's GHL 101, which is talking more about that agency side setup, and the Quick Start Snapshot instructions, specifically, of course, talking about that snapshot. Anything to add? Make sure I'm not cool.
And
So
just
again,
to add to that, the Quick Start Snapshot, those of you that don't know, from Extendly is a base level of automations that almost every account needs. It is trimmed down to provide you enough automations that you need to get a new account set up and started. And then the Extendly GHL 101 course is if you're brand new to HighLevel and you're trying to set up your HighLevel agency, this is a step-by-step guide, a course that walks you through exactly how to set up your agency, how to set up your first sub account, and go from there.
Exactly. And again, we made this level 1 course specifically to be able to get done in a day very easily. It's very, very doable. Level 2. So level 1, we've talked about those most important features, right? We're not going too much into everything where it's overwhelming or overkill at that point. But in level 2, we have our base, right? We have our feet on the ground now. We know how to log in. We know what forms and surveys are, those things. Now let's build on that and actually start talking about social media planner, affiliates, reporting, memberships, so the chat widget that you can add to your sites, all of those extra add-ons that build off of those core features that we talked about in level 1. So not only do we review those level 1 concepts as well, we also go more into those other features, and it's just breaking apart funnels and websites into like domains, blogs, things like that. So again, we're talking more about how to use every feature, the benefits and use cases, covers level 1 topics in greater detail, but other features like the social media planner, affiliates, reporting, memberships, and more. There's more advanced help guides and resources in this level as you advance through. Again, access to those daily tech sessions, Quick Start Snapshot, and courses. But at level 2, you also get access to a temporary sandbox account in our agency to start playing around. So whether you don't already, if you haven't signed up for HighLevel yet, you're a VA, you're an employee of somebody that's having you go through this as a training, it gives you an option to actually play around, experiment, build in, and break without the consequences of affecting anyone's actual business or actual HighLevel account. You don't have to use it. This sandbox account, if you have a HighLevel account, we're more than happy that you use that. Great. But it's just for those that want to have that kind of separation that is very, very useful. So again, level 2 is just level 1, but we're going more into those other features and all of those add-ons and connected tools that we can use in the system that build off of those core features from level 1. Awesome. So then level three is the biggest, I would say, of the three levels. And this is where we are now understanding what the features are, what each one does, how it works, all of those little tools aside from it. But now how do we put them together to make something that works, to make a process? So with level three, our philosophy here is using build or project bases. So a lead magnet, an appointment, an event, regardless of your niche, if you're a roofer, if you're a massage therapist, a fitness instructor, an appointment is an appointment, and a lead magnet is a lead magnet. You're going to use that base nearly every time and just tweak it or add to it, or say that's an appointment with a purchase at the end. Whatever that may be, it's a lot less intimidating to tackle client requests or team requests when you're able to think about it in that way, rather than getting overwhelmed with every tiny little toggle and setting you possibly can think of. So in this level, we go through 7 different base projects, from lead magnets to appointments, events, membership opt-ins, email opt-ins, things like that. This is where those build guides come in, right? So each of those base projects also has a build guide along with it. Again, you have the step-by-step, step 1, step 2, step 3 in those lessons, but we're also working through that side by side in that build guide as well. So if you learn better, either way, whatever makes sense to you, there's something there for you. There is the access, again, to those daily live sessions, temporary account that you can build these base projects in, and those extendly quick start snapshots and courses. Also in level 3, which is my favorite part, but not everybody's favorite part because it takes the longest. But in level 3, we have client simulations. So again, you're starting level 3 by learning those base projects that I talked about, learning how to build an appointment at its core, a lead magnet at its core, before we get all fancy and adding different things to it. So once we learn those, you're going and actually you're building those out. I'm asking you to build them out. You're going to have to show me, which I'll talk about in the exams. And you're getting your hands dirty by building those base projects. So then when you go through those, we have 10 different client simulation challenges that are these empty-ish emails from a fake client that is asking for something to be completed in some sort of time frame. So the point of these challenges are to make it feel like you're interacting with a real client, as I very much have in the past. So I'm building off of my own experience here as well. But you get that initial client and there's not a lot of information. They may have not given you all of the content or answered all of the questions you may have because they don't know. That's your job to know in this point. So what I give you here is an email with enough information to build something. And then we also have some files on the side, depending on the challenge, that may have some email content or brand kit that they have to use in order to design the funnel pages, things like that. And it's our way of kind of throwing you in the water without life floaties. But again, you're not actually affecting anyone's business in real life, right? If you mess up what this coaching program is meant to do, you're not actually disappointing or hurting anybody's financial income in a real business. You're able to actually work through these simulations as you would with a real client, but have that support behind you and be able to fall a little bit and pick up where you're from. So again, you'll be asked to complete various challenges at this level, like building a request to a troubleshooting, a question. These challenges are meant to help you handle a realistic client request from start to finish. This includes the initial email from the client, which may or may not have all the information you need for the project. What questions would you ask? What resources would you use? How would you suggest building it based on the info that you have? Do you suggest any other ways of doing anything to best utilize the system for each client request? So are there better suggestions you can make? If they're like, oh, I want to have this form over here, but you're like, that's clunky. Why don't you use a text keyword? Great. Tell them that, right? So again, the point of these challenges and the level 3 as a whole is to learn those base projects and then actually apply them to these real client simulations. Any other comments off of level 3, guys, before I go into the exams? Oh, cool. All right, exams. So as I've mentioned here or there, we have exams at each level of the program. So at level 1, we have a short answer exam at the end of those 12 different lessons. It's roughly 20 questions, and you need an 80% or higher in order to pass it and be able to advance to the next level, meaning level 2. If you don't get it right away, that's okay. We let you try again, learn from your mistakes, that whole thing. We're not going to kick you out right away, but it is automatically graded since that level 1 is just a short answer. So that's a lot easier to go through. And then level 2 and 3, you have the short answer exam as well as the long answer exam. And the long answer is where I'm asking you to type out what is a custom field and what is it used for? What project, why did you build the base project the way you built it in level 3 for that client simulation? Also, they also need to have 80% or higher to pass. And those long answer exams are actually graded by myself and our team, and you get feedback off of that. So an example or 2 looks like this. So you can see over here on the left that that's an example of our short answer exam with the multiple choice. So you get your question, you have a couple answers to choose from, and then the system will tell you like, no, it's wrong, here's why, or great, you got it right. And that's awesome. Over on the right, we have an example of the long answer exam where I'm actually asking you to provide the full response, because it's very different when working with clients to be able to just choose a multiple choice question and actually provide the response. And again, in a confident manner. That's what this all is about, right? Is being able to say this confidently, give the response confidently, say, this is how it would work. And yes, it would work this way. And I know it will, those kinds of things. And then if you take those exams, you do get your responses back. Kind of this little corner down here on the right is an example of one that I actually graded this morning. And the person did phenomenal, got 100 on the level 2 exam. If you do get anything wrong, I explain what it is, why, and how you can improve, what score you got, those kinds of things. So you're getting active progress and updates, feedback as you're moving through. And if you're an employer and you're having somebody go through, we also have a progress update person option where, let's say that Beyond just hired me and he's paying for me to go through the training. I would want to have Beyond as my progress update person so that he's getting updates about my progress as well as myself, right? So that you're not having to, Beyond's not like, oh, I paid this money and I have no idea where they're at and I don't know anything. And, you know, who knows, that person could be lying about what they're doing. I don't know, hopefully not, right? But then we're all on the same page. You're getting constant updates and feedback as you go. The benefits of this is that, again, we can master that level 1 in as little as a few hours to the first day. We guarantee up to 6 months of wasted subscription costs and overwhelm. You can become officially certified in at least a month, which is awesome. And if you're really dedicated, you could do it in a few weeks, easy. We've created the fastest way to learn and build confidence using HighLevel. So in this little roadmap, you can see that you go from very frustrated to being an automation expert certified by the Academy for HighLevel. And you're going through that level 1, level 2, level 3. And once you're certified, you can always come back for updates. The enrollment options, as of right now, you can either pick a level and work through them. So if you choose level 3, let's say, and you buy level 3 outright, you're getting all 3 levels in that, since you're still going to always have to work through them in order. And then the other option is upgrading as you go. So if you start at level 1 or level 2 and you decide you want to upgrade to the next one later, you can do that without, and you're only paying the difference between the levels. You're not repaying for the entire level 2 or anything like that. And if you are jumping from level 2 to 3, since that is a larger gap, we do give you the option of doing that in 2 payments if you'd like, but that's the only time that we do kind of payments that way, because otherwise upgrading as you go is kind of a payment plan in itself. So all in all, again, we are really, really honored to announce that we have won that first place in HighLevel's course contest. We're really excited about it, and we just hope to add more and grow more and add more value as much as possible. And so if you're ready to build your confidence, join today. And again, those first 25 Extendly members can use that EXT50 for 50% off any level. If you scan the code on the screen, it'll take you to the website. Otherwise, you can use the link on the screen. And there is
We've already had 8 people sign up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice.
8. So
And
we're getting
there,
questions on the upgrade. If you upgrade at a later date, does the 50% carry through since you signed up with the code?
I had not thought about that.
Yeah, good question.
Now, your daughter should have thought of that, because you're where's the party, and your daughter's the technical one. That's like my wife. She's where's the party.
Oh, you got me. Yeah.
Yeah, Dale, it will carry over.
Yeah, we'll make sure it carries over.
So
I won't make sure. Stephanie will make sure.
Yes.
Well, at least everybody knows. So if it doesn't work, we can ask for support.
Yes.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Totally. Great question. And on the website, if you're not sure where to start, if you're like, I kind of know, I don't know where to start, you can always take our little mini quiz on there. It's about 10 questions. They're actually pulled from our exams, believe it or not, but that will kind of give you like a little bit of a placement test on where to start. Again, you're always going to work through it in order regardless, because it piggybacks off of itself, but at least you can kind of know where your skills lie in terms of our levels.
I think we should take the course regardless. The 10 questions.
I agree, Dale.
Yeah. A few questions. A lot of people are asking, can I put my whole staff through this?
Yeah, so the answer to that is
Thomas Decent.
We will allow 10 of your team members to go through with the single purchase that you have, so that we haven't made it unlimited to allow as many people as you want, because we don't want the course to be just genuinely shared amongst everyone. But yes, 10 of your team members will be allowed to go through the course with the single purchase.
Another question is,
Hey, it's Rico. How are you, man?
So,
and that's at any level?
John?
yeah, that's at any time.
Oh, didn't realize you were still there. I thought you were just going for the weekend, brother. I didn't know where you were going, actually.
All right. I just happened to mute everyone, because someone was having a conversation. They probably didn't think they were muted. So anyways, please unmute yourself if you want to ask a question.
I just put one in there. How do we add or allow staff members to gain access or get access?
Right now, it would be through the login that you set up. So
it's one at a time, right? So you'll have, you're not able to provide access to 10 different members at the same time. The first member that is enrolled in has to go through the course, complete, and then you're either able to share that login forward, or ask us to replace that. That way you can get newer updates on the new member that's going through. So generally people ask us to, hey, here's my second member, here's their name and ID, an email, could you please create them access? Then we go ahead and allow them access to go through the course. So you can.
So after we go through the course, can we go back through it again as a refresher, or can we go back and see things?
So with using your same ID, you're able to go through it as many times as you want.
Right.
Okay, so if you pass the baton on to a staff, then how do you do that?
So that's where the second, that's where when you email in with their own email ID and whatnot, so we can go ahead and create them a second.
Okay, so you maintain your original ID, they get a unique one.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct.
So
we're really only certifying that one time, right? Those longer exams are the ones that I'm not going to grade over and over again. But the short answer ones are the ones that you can always easily go back through and take whenever you want. because those are auto graded by the system. It's not you're not having to wait for me to go and read through all of them and grade back and do all of that.
And sure, Stephanie, you can relate to this. That was my analytical mind asking that question.
Yes,
Now, now your mom's going to say, "Where's the party?"
Love it.
Enrique's got his hands up. Enrique, what's the question?
Yeah, no, just so to clarify, we could do it once I provide those names, they can do it simultaneously with me. So I don't have to wait.
Right now, no, it would be that one person goes through at a time. That's how it's set up currently. So when you sign up, it's going under that enrollment, whatever registration, and that person can go through, but we're only certifying that one person, but you can share the resources with your team is the point there.
Right. So that's
whoever you want to get certified.
Right. But we're only certifying that one person per ticket.
No, I know that I understand, but what I'm saying, so then they would have to wait, like, let's say I'm getting certified, I'm going through, I get certified. They have to wait for me to finish before they can jump in the course and I get them trained, like my team.
If you're
Because
providing them
Beyond was
your
saying
login,
that you get different, you supply your team and they get different logins. So wouldn't we be able to track their progress separately from the one person?
Yeah. So let me help clarify that. So if you were to, sort of share your login with the other team member, then that's the only person that's going through the training. And but if you want to supply a different login credential, which we highly recommend that you do, then you're able to enroll a second person in as well. The certification part is what Stephanie is saying, that we're only certifying the first person in your group that goes through. We're not certifying every team member that goes through it with the purchase of the course.
Particularly if you think about VAs and employees, you don't want to pay for it. And then they say, I'm certified. And then they go out and start working with everybody else.
No, that's what I'm understanding. I want to,
Okay.
I'll get certified, but I want to make sure I don't want my team to wait for me to get certified.
right. So then in
in
that case, you would be able to just say, hey, here's my login, go in and use the same resources. So like if you sign up for level 1 right now, and they use the same login to look at the level 1 resources, that's totally okay. We just can't add them have their own progress process without having that separate enrollment, since the other things that come with it. But yes, you can at this moment by sharing the login.
Sorry, and maybe I missed it. So the second enrollment's to actually just certify them.
Correct.
But then that would require an additional investment.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I think I understand that part. I just want my team, I understand one certification. So then I would just share that with them. They go in
Beautiful.
there,
100%.
they can knock it out. Yeah, no, I respect you guys put this system together. I don't want to do that. If anyone do that.
No, you're good. I just glad we're on.
No, I love it externally. I just wanted to understand that I can invest in my time and also my team's time to get that. If that's the case, that's what I need, because this sounds great.
Yeah, and especially like I said, it's just those long answer exams that I wouldn't go and grade, but those short ones, if it says that you took it 100 times, then you took it 100 times, even if that's your team doing it. It's just those long answer ones that are manually graded. That's where that certified comes in. But other than that, as long as you're in it and you share your details with your team, you're good to go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Jenna, I think, had her hand up for a minute.
One quick question I saw too is somebody said they have not signed up for HighLevel yet. So we do have a special offer for those that sign up under our affiliate link. And Beyond, you want to go into that? I don't always remember everything that's included. And then can we give the Academy link?
Yeah, so we can share the details on that after for the person who hasn't signed up. But we do have where you get the level 1 without a charge, and you're able to go through it. So if anyone who needs that link, just go ahead and reach out to us. We'll go ahead and provide you the details related to that. It does come with additional benefits, such as some support from Extendly as well as part of the package for you. for 30 days free, just so you can get started and ask any questions while you're going through it as well. So that's part of the package also, for you to take advantage of. But yeah, I don't have that link pulled up right now. So whoever wants, message either me or Stephanie, and
Feel free.
that over to you.
Yeah. Jenna, did you want to come off mute and ask yours?
Yeah, it looks like a lot of your stuff is white labeled now from what I
Not
saw.
yet.
Not yet.
We're
Not
working on that as we speak. That's my task at the moment.
Because that's a whole nother viewpoint.
Right.
We're not going to train, I should say she, I always use the word we.
It's not
it-
as
yeah.
transferable as it could seem. So it's taken a little bit extra work making sure that it's all the nuts and bolts are making sense from that point of view. But we are working on it and hope to come out very soon.
Yeah,
And
no,
we
that
will
makes
announce
sense.
that.
It just looked like a lot of your like your files were white labeled.
They aren't at the moment, but I am making some of them white labeled for the white label course. So you're on the right track with that for sure.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was just when I was glancing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I saw like the 50% off thing. Is if you go to upgrade to the next one, is it that minus that equals how much you're paying?
Yes. So you would be able to use that 50% off as on the upgrade as well. So if you sign up for one level today, you're upgrading. Usually people would just pay the difference, but you would be able to do that plus that coupon code.
Okay, sorry, maybe I asked that wrong. So the bottom was 200 something, but the next one was quite a bit more than that. Is it the tier 2 minus tier 1 is what you're paying next? Is that right?
Right. So if you're upgrading from one level to the next, you're only going to pay that difference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And if
So-
I wanted to, I could just get tier 3 and you get all 3.
Yes, correct. And you can even use that 50% off and get a huge chunk off of that too.
Okay.
Sweet. Anything else?
So someone's asking, what's the difference between Extendly and GHL Experts? So Extendly owns GHL Experts at this point. We made an announcement in January that we had acquired them. So they are part of our team. They do have some SaaS add-on products that are available in the marketplace to be purchased. And there's a lot of members that have used GHL Experts as well. One of their most popular product is their review engine that is a enhanced version of a reputation management system. But they are part of our team now, so it's the same thing.
What Beyond is doing is kind of bringing it all into one place where you can get the support you need to run your agency. Unfortunately, some people make it seem like running a high-level agency is just a super simple thing. No, you're running a business. It's a challenge and it's a lot of work. What we're trying to do, or what Beyond's doing, is kind of bringing in all the key pieces into one place. And as Extendly members already, you guys know how valuable that is. Everything is top notch.
Totally.
Yeah, the entire goal of the team here is to be able to bring in a new high-level user that has just gotten started with HighLevel, give them enough of a platform and a pathway to walk themselves through, the entire high-level process and actually help them be successful. So we essentially we're starting them off with the academy, where you start off learning high level, getting to understand high level. Then we have our tech support, white label tech support team that helps you with your SaaS. If you need help launching your SaaS, we have our SaaS agency in a box snapshot system that customers utilize. We do onboardings for you on a white label format. And then now we also have sales coaching that we're providing in the Extendly group to help you prospect better and be able to land more deals and leads for yourself. So we're hoping that we're able to sort of guide you through this journey of HighLevel and be your partner along with the way and help you succeed with HighLevel.
And the way that we're able to keep our business small, because quite honestly, I did the whole business thing before and had the offices and the employees and all that. And I swore I would never do that again. By using teams like Extendly, you're able to focus on what you do best and not have to worry. So we're Extendly users. We bought, the reason I got to know Beyond was because we bought his big snapshot. We can't be experts at everything. We have to be the ones out there selling and providing the services. We can let those that are experts at onboarding and tech support do their thing. And it's at a fraction of the cost of what it would, what we would have to pay as owners to hire people to do all that work.
Yeah, or pay people to train to sit there and watch YouTube videos and you don't know what they're doing, that whole thing. Speaking of certified people though, Naveed Malik here, who with his hand up, if you want to come off mute, I'd love to hear what you got to say since you recently were certified.
Oh,
thank you very much, Stephanie. Yeah, I recently certified 3 levels. And first of all, I want to say that it was an amazing learning experience, especially level 3, where we had some strategy challenges that made me feel like I'm an expert now and I can do anything.
Yay! That's amazing to hear. That makes me very happy. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Was that, Steph, was that a person who's gone through our...
Yeah, he was the first of Sam's group to go through and get actually all 3 levels certified. Very impressed with the responses, very detailed. Definitely know what you're doing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and in fact, in those challenges, basically, we were forced to refer each and every video that you shared during training because you didn't miss anything in those challenges. And that was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. You did a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And only one thing is, after completing my training, now my access to those videos is revoked. So is there
let me
any
make sure
that
I will look at that.
Okay, because I feel that after working with some clients and or working on some projects, we may need to refer those videos because those videos contain each and every piece of project that we need.
Definitely. I will look into that right away. I may have merged something that I shouldn't have or something. But I will look at that right away. But thank you, Naveed. Definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Kylie in the chat asked, and Dale posted again, about a question. And the question is, what is the difference between Extendly and HL Pro Tools? So I answered jokingly, I would like to say we're better, but no, all joking aside, I think both teams do a great job. We have additional resources that we provide, especially to the customers that use our snapshots, where our team is really well versed in the snapshots and how they're constructed on our side. So we're able to provide that much better support to your customers. And we have a brand new support experience coming out starting of April. The team that we acquired from GHL Experts, the dev team, it has this thing called a support engine, which always lived as part of their SaaS tech stack. So they're combining our live chat support and their support engine together to be able to provide a unified experience inside your HighLevel dashboard, which will be fully branded to you. So a full branding experience will be there, and as well as easy to search knowledge-based answers, everything will be on the fingertips of your customer when they're going through that process. So we're excited to launch that as well. And of course,
they're all going through the academy as well. We've been adding all of them as well.
Absolutely. And of course, we do have the coaching sessions that are available, that are free right now at the Extendly Facebook group. So they happen 9 a.m. And 11:30 a.m. Matter of fact, James Hurst is probably hosting one right now for his session. And then Thursdays, we have a sales coaching session that happens with Alex Shilinsky from Prospecting on Demand, and they are all about helping you sell your SaaS. It's focused around SaaS and agency services and how you can prospect better and be able to get more customers for yourself.
Yep. Cool. Enrique, did you have another question?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to honestly just say I appreciate the opportunity that you guys put this out together. I know I see some people on the fence. The only thing I want to, and I have no affiliate link on here, nothing. This is just straight up. Beyond actually got on my first demo call and helped me close my first pro subscription. I sold one before. He should have been, he was going to help me sell my first one, but he actually helped me sell my second one, but it was the higher tier.
Oh yeah.
Their team, like in other words, if you guys are on the fence, Beyond's team has been above and beyond. I think it's been over a year now, and they're still helping me out, but it was another issue. So don't take advantage. I mean, we had a little hiccup on one of the things before anybody think that you're just gonna get endless help. But so I have confidence that even if I had to run into a question, you guys answered it. If I'm confused, like I can pick up the phone or get on the Slack and get it answered. So if you're on the fence, I don't know. It's a pain in the ass to learn this crap. I'm just gonna put it like
it is.
and that's the conversation I had with Beyond.
Hallelujah.
Sorry to say it. I met him at the mastermind in February. I was like, Beyond, I don't know how to use your agency Snapshot. He's like, oh, I'll help you. He was really willing to help, but this is, I think, the answer to my solution. So I've invested more than enough money. I mean, I believe in you guys is what I'm saying. So
yeah, even from the partner perspective, Extendly has been great and amazing to work with. You know, I'm 22 years old, CEO of this, so this is all very new to me as well. And it's been nothing but supportive and warm and encouraging and uplifting. And I can't say better things about the team for sure.
Well, and if you're in the Facebook, in the HighLevel Facebook group, you're going to know people like James Hurst and the coaches and all the people that are involved. I hate to include myself in this, but we're the best of the best. We know this stuff in and out, and we have lived through all the changes, and we've built our own agencies doing this. So you can rest assured that we know what you're feeling in the beginning here, because we've been there.
Yeah, definitely. So make sure that you check out the website. Again, there's that mini quiz on the top or on the sidebar as well, that if you're not sure where to start, you can take that little placement quiz, use that code discount for that 50% off for those first 25 people. Anything else?
Yeah, we'll take any last couple of questions if anyone has them. We're just over the hour, so if anyone's got any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. And otherwise, guys, thank you very much for joining us.
How many have signed up from this Zoom? I know we were at 14.
I've lost track now, but we've got to be getting pretty close.
You may have to extend it for some of the, and do 30 or something.
I have to. Extendly extension.
Yeah, it's
There
all
you
in
go.
name,
The
right?
EEE.
Yeah.
You made it fine, so.
And I
What
will
you got
say
going
that I'm a member of the Extendly 1-year plan where they do the support and stuff. And I was pretty green when I first started. I've built massive workflows and stuff, and I was able to, even through my frustration, which I'm sure carried through on the calls, get help and Zooms from, get them on, even in the middle of the night. I'd get some of the people on, and they would, if you push them a little bit, they'll get on a Zoom with you, and then you can get a lot done a lot quicker. It's kind of like a phone call's quicker than back and forth texting.
Yeah.
So they helped me get through a lot of that through the Slack channel that they provide. once you learn exactly how to use the Slack to the best optimal use. So if you're
Yeah.
thinking about having purchasing their 1-year program where they onboard 51 of your customers for a year and all the other features, it's just something to consider highly if you're at that point.
Thank you, Dale. Appreciate the live testimony there from your experience.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
One thing I want to say is HighLevel. I mean, not often can you actually build a business like this. I mean, in a way, it's almost the wild, wild west in that this is a hell of a business opportunity. It is going to take work. And 2 things you have to do is learn the software and learn how to sell. So what we're trying to do is provide you with a little bit of both, with the sales coaching, also with the training. Then it's just a matter of getting out there and offering this to people. And it is so needed out there. I don't worry about competition because my goodness, everybody needs this. And so you really can build. And then we have 2 of our kids work in the business now. It was a fluke, but we now have a very strong family business. When I retire, these kids are going to take it over. I mean, it is possible to do this. We started with nothing.
Well said.
Yeah, it absolutely is. That's why I say I recently had a spotlight session with Chase on the HighLevel side. It's HighLevel is actually a really amazing opportunity, which is exactly what I said in the beginning of the call as well. And I would hate to see people try it out and fail and not give it a fair shot of learning the platform. When I personally was introduced to HighLevel, I thought it was way too good to be true, but they had a 14-day trial. I gave it a shot. And at that time, there wasn't anything related to, courses or learning or help.
There really still isn't.
Related to all of this. And the fact that I was actually so intrigued by the platform, I gave it all. I literally spent almost 3 months diving in, and it was through the COVID time, so I had a lot of time to myself, just being inside the platform, learning the platform, making mistakes, going about it to where I actually felt confident that, okay, now I know how to use some of it. But then, as you learn the basics, you start to use the basics, you get to know and fiddle with it and know more and more. And then they went from, campaigns and and triggers to workflows. And that was just a whole another thing.
And we still cover campaigns and triggers in the training, by the way, just in case anybody runs into anybody
or anyone
uses
using them. Yeah. But that was a whole another thing. And then I'm like, okay, got to learn this whole darn thing again. But if I hadn't learned the platform, there was no way I would have been able to build a support company that's supporting hundreds of agencies today to achieve their dreams and be able to. Now we're so grateful to be able to provide a platform like the GHL Academy to be able to teach what we've learned through the platform and be able to help inspire and empower other agency owners like yourselves to be able to be successful with this opportunity. It's truly an amazing opportunity. So those that take it seriously and actually learn, I wish them success, and I'm confident they will succeed in it.
And I would say the best thing we did was build our agency automation first, because when I do a demo for a prospect, I'm able to show them how I have built this from nothing. I can't say I. Funny how I do I when it's me and we when it's her. But it is so powerful when you build your own. You're going to learn it and you're going to have ideas for clients. And
I couldn't agree more.
Yep. And I'll tell you, back, somebody just said they wish they had this back in 2021. It's now 2023 and there's really no good training yet. And a lot of people ask, does HighLevel know what you're doing? Absolutely. They know.
Got first place. Woo-hoo. Also in 2020, we launched the first version of this November 2021.
Yeah.
So it's been
It was only for our clients and our VAs. It was
Yeah.
secret.
at first, but that was the first time we had launched it. So we've been working on this and just improving, adding as much as we can.
All right, looks like we're quite a bit over time, and I don't see any more new questions in
No.
there. If anyone's got a last question, we'll wait for about a minute or so. Please unmute yourself and ask. Otherwise,
Feel
guys,
free
thank
to
you very
message
much
us.
for everyone joining us. And again, and I don't know if we've already hit 25 people or not, but give it a shot. If the code
Give it a
still
shot.
works, if the code still works, there may be a spot or two left. Check out the ghlacademy.com. The first 25 Extendly members get the code EXT50 for 50% off any level.
Okay, can I ask one question still?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so if you finish level 2, could you then be able to build your own snapshots and workflows, for example, for reactivation campaign or Google My Business review generation campaign?
You definitely would have a good understanding of how to build workflows. Yes, we do break down like workflow triggers, workflow actions, those kinds of things. But level 3 is really where we're putting the different features like forms and websites and workflows together to make a lead magnet process, an appointment process, those event processes. So in terms of the best level to learn how everything fits together, I would say level 3, because that's where we're really covering how to make things connect.
Okay, so but level 2, it should be enough, like at least to come a long way.
Yeah, level 2 will give you enough to like definitely understand workflows. You just may get a little tripped up on how to connect everything, but you know, if you got it, you got it. But definitely level 2 can give you enough to work off of. And then you can always upgrade later, just pay the difference if you need.
Okay. And all these extra things, like you get these, even if you do the lowest level, the extra like snapshots, 18 snapshots, you get these for forever.
Yep.
Yeah, even if you do the lowest level.
Yes. So the quick start snapshot's available at level 1 because we want you to be able to get in at the first level and take what's inside the snapshot and understand what you've just gone through so that you have things like appointment confirmation and reminders, right? So you don't have to go and necessarily build everything out from scratch. You have that provided to you where now you understand what the software does, how it functions, what the functions are. Now you get to take it on a test run with the snapshot and see how many times you mess up or how things are built so you can get a better understanding. But when you go to level 2, you coincide and look at that snapshot. Now things will start to make a lot more sense in how they're built inside that snapshot, how the automations are there and how they're helping you. And then level 3, like Steph said, is really when you start to be able to grasp on building and automating things yourself. That's where we're giving you the challenges and we're asking you, hey, if your client emailed you X, Y, and Z, and this is what they said, and they didn't give you all the details, they just give you a very overview of it, how would you build that? And now it becomes your responsibility. Okay, what are the type of questions do I need to ask to get more details? What kind of solution do I present to them instead of, what they're asking me, is it really what I need to build or is it something else to achieve what they're asking for? So that's where we sort of walk you through the strategy to figure out and then actually go through and building out the automation through workflows as well.
You bet.
Okay, thank you.
Great Zoom, thank you.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for being with us for all this time. We appreciated you. And thank you to all of those that love Extendly and the Academy platform. We can't wait to work with you more and be able to help you be your partner in helping you becoming successful. Thanks for joining us and take care.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
And thank you.